Hello everyone and welcome to Top Tips for Archaeology Graduates. I'm joined today by Alex. Hi Alex, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well this evening. Thank you so much for making the time to join us today. So Alex works as an environmental processing assistant and he's just 1 year into this job. So he graduated, finished his degree last year. I'm really excited to catch up with him and find out how his first year of work in archaeology has gone. So maybe Alex, you could tell us a little bit about what an environmental processing assistant is.
So a lot of my job involves the processing of samples that are taken from site. So usually you'll have a 40-litre bulk sample of a particular feature if it's been selected to have been important enough for that, and you can retrieve anything from pottery, bones, to anything like ecofacts such as seeds, fish bones, snail shells, things like that. And basically my job is to run these buckets through a special machine called a flotation tank, where the heavy stuff sinks, the light stuff floats, and the dirt washes away. And it is my job to do those many a day, and then analyze what is in the residues of those, be that bone, pottery, again, and categorize that in each individual piece.
That's great. Thank you very much. You must have quite a diverse range of sites that you're working on. I guess you're working in commercial archaeology, is that right?
Yes, I'm working in commercial down in Lincolnshire, in North Highcombe, which is just outside of Lincoln, with a company called Archaeology.
Oh, fantastic. What do you enjoy about your work?
To be honest, each individual bucket is sort of its own mini treasure trove. You never really know what you're going to get in it. You might have quite a poor return, be that just some modern CBM or something, or I found some very nice coins, brooches, and in my particular case, some really nice seed assemblages in the float seeds and grains that go in there, and that's just really exciting to see when you see it pop through the mesh, things like that.
Oh, fantastic. So that sense of discovery, you get real excitement out of it. Can I ask you the other side of that? What do you find more challenging about your role?
Well, there's no other way to say this, but all that dirt has to go somewhere. So cleaning the soil trap is a everyday occurrence, but you just get used to it. It's just sand and clay, which can be quite dirty, and I probably do have one of the dirtiest jobs in the office, but it's no different from being on site, even less so because you're warm, you're dry, you're in an office, you got nice chairs, you don't have chairs on site, so it can be hard, but you can sit down and there's a kettle and there's a microwave, so you can heat up whatever you want. You're not exactly on site.
Okay. Thank you very much. I understand, the dirtiness, but again, you're inside, so it's a bit warm. So it's a bit unusual for students to go straight into post-excavation roles after they've graduated. Normally, we see students spending a couple of years in the field before they move on to that. So can you tell us a little bit about how your journey, how did you go straight from your undergraduate degree into an environmental processing role?
Well, I did the first year training school at York, which involved both field work at Malton and then post-ex, including flotation out at King's Manor, which I felt helped me quite a lot. And then in my third year, I volunteered myself to go along to work as a site staff / assistant supervisory role along with the first years at the Heslington dig site. And I think that excavation experience, along with the advice and everything that I gained from those fieldwork experiences, got me quite far into pushing me into post-ex, and how much I enjoyed the flotation first year, especially just seeing things pop up to the surface and then go off. But then it was also trying to integrate myself better with fieldwork. Fieldwork is very nice, but it's not for everyone, for example. So it's important to understand that archaeology is not just fieldwork and it's not just research. There's a lot of intermediary / auxiliary, but I wouldn't call it auxiliary. It's everything that goes into processing the artifacts or features after it's been dug up. Things need to happen to it. It needs to be processed, catalogued, analysed, and I quite enjoy that.
So did you know from the first year then you wanted to be an environmental archaeologist, or did anything else sort of contribute to that as you were going through your degree?
No, it was my third year dissertation, which I chose out of the blue to be on Roman grain storage along Hadrian's Wall. And I found learning about all the different plants and the environmental side, how the landscapes would have looked and things like that, to be very interesting. And I've worked before as a gardener, and I'm quite interested in gardening in general and how that's evolved and human relationship with plants and how plants have affected us. And that's just been kind of on the back burner my entire life. But having my own independence to do my own research in third year really spurred me on to go into something that I enjoy and not just onto a essay topic that I've been set.
That's fantastic. And it sounds like a really interesting dissertation topic as well. Can I ask, what kind of things do you think that your archaeology degree helped you with in terms of your role now, both in terms of like specific skills, but also some of those softer transferable skills as well?
It certainly helped me with the digital aspect. I use GIS semi-frequently, which I learned about in the second year. And there was also a lot of integration between post-ex and the excavation teams, which a lot of that came from the fieldwork opportunities that I got on site and with the leaders there. And also just understanding archaeology in a much broader context, be that the theory behind it or the practical principles that I've been taught, helped me really orient myself in the commercial world.
That's fantastic. And so I'm going to ask you a slightly different question now than I've been asking a lot of people, but as you're so early on in your career, what are your ambitions for the future?
I would like to become an archaeobotanist, either in-house or third party, and I would like to specialise in plant remains, specifically plant and wood, and analyse how human relationships have been changed by that. I'd also like to go into research further down the line, but I'm happy to get a couple of years salary, a couple of years experience under my belt before I attempt something like that, looking into how humans have grown with gardens and looking at gardens before the Roman period especially.
That sounds like exciting and interesting research to be doing. But as you say, you're getting really, really valuable experience for building a career in that direction right now. Okay, so Alex, I'm going to ask you finally, what are your top tips if there are any students listening to this video who want to follow in your footsteps? What kind of things would you recommend that they do or think about?
My top tip would be to just take hold of any advantage you see. If you are offered training, take it, even if you don't enjoy it. You never know when it's going to end up helping you, and make use of your connections. Anybody that you talk to in your dissertation or even at the university department is more than willing to help, and they are such a tremendous help with any sort of work that you'd like to go in the future or career path that you'd like to take. And also, don't be afraid to do your own thing. Like, don't be constrained by your degree. Think outside of your degree. Think of how your degree can support you to build yourself up to do other things, and further research from there.
Fantastic, thank you. I think that advice of following your own path and sort of allowing yourself to explore the different options is really great advice. Thank you so much, Alex, for joining us. Thank you everyone else for watching. Join us again next time for more top tips for archaeology graduates.